I think one of the biggest things that I've ever discovered is when I was a kid and I couldn't read and write. And I come from this family of both educated parents. And I realized that that moment, there's something different. And I just accepted it and said, this might be the greatest gift in my life. And I didn't realize until later that it was, where most people would go, well, reading and writing is a fault. It's something that's going to hold you back. It just made me focus more.
And coming to you from Brand Viva Media headquarters in Denver, Colorado, it's Adam Contos with Start With a Win. Producer Mark, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I am pumped up.
What?
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
I am pumped. We got an awesome guest on the show today. Your friend, Mike O'Hearn, a bodybuilder, professional trainer, actor, model, and community ambassador. Mike holds 4 Mr. Universe titles and was voted one of the 12 greatest physiques of all time by the fitness industry. Mike is a true champion, well-rounded athlete who has graced over 500 fitness covers. Mike, welcome to Start With the Win.
I guess I'm going to dance or sing or smile. I'll do it all.
Hey, it's good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being on the show today.
Absolutely, man. I love the opportunity.
Awesome. Hey, let's get right into this. I mean, you got your Titan Crew shirt on today, and you are the Titan. I mean, you've had that title for many different aspects of your life. Let's just jump into that. Being known as a Titan, what does that mean to you, and how did you get that title?
Wow. What does it mean to me? For me, it actually just means to try to continue to get better through life. It really is. And how the name came about was fun. I mean, it was I got American Gladiators as a young 20-year-old and got to continue to do shows like American Gladiators from my 20s to 30s to 40s. The name was just appointed to me, but it continued to not just be a character's name, but a representation of who I am and what I believe in. And it's like you or like all of our acquaintances is these kind of individuals that continue to push and fight regardless of your peak or when you peaked in college or high school or whatever. We continue to try to just really take it to the next level every single day.
Awesome. Taking it to the next level. I mean, it's interesting. I had the honor of visiting you, pre-COVID, and it was funny because everybody's getting together and you know, the word goes around. All right. I think it was like 4 a.m. We were hitting Gold's Gym or 4:30 or something like that. It was early. And I came from, I think, the East Coast to go do this. So, we're hanging out and I'm like, this is hardcore. And I got introduced to your team, the group that you run with. And I was impressed from the get-go. It wasn't just, okay, let's go to the gym and have a really good workout. And everybody, there weren't people running around yelling and screaming and getting sweaty and things like that. It was super intentional. And that's what I noticed about you from the get-go is you're very intentional in everything you do. Why and when did you pick that part of your life of that intentionality in order to maximize every aspect of you?
Wow. Great question, man. I come from a family that my dad was a school teacher. And so it was ask the right question. And even if it's not asked the right question, pay attention to what's going on. And I think I learned early on that the life I wanted to live, I got lucky enough to understand as a kid what I wanted to do for a lifetime. And that's never changed. But it was also understanding that, okay, how has others not been able to do it for a lifetime? So what mistakes are they making? And then the tunnel vision was just what their mistakes were. Don't do those. Stay on point and try to enhance the good things that they did. And by paying attention to that precise vision, it has allowed me to live the life I have. It's the smallest little details that make the biggest changes. And people think it's like, oh, I need to completely go from never working out and not eating right to working out 6 days a week in extreme diet. It's not that way. It's a moderate, slow, consistent change to being better is what works for the body and the mind. It's not these big leaps that people think it has to be. It has to be, I got to completely change my thought process. You just got to change a couple things.
It's the tortoise and the hare, right? I mean, just
you're talking to the hare. You're talking to the tortoise. I mean, you're talking to the tortoise. I was on stage in 1983, and I'm still here today. And I love the fact that I could sit in the journey. It didn't matter that I won the universe. As soon as I won it, I was like, okay, now next, let's go. Let's keep working. I love the struggle and the journey of this. And that's why I still do it today. And I posted something today. I said, if you do this for money or anything in life for money, solely money, you can't stay with it. Because some things are not going to be, especially the things that you really want, are not going to be easy. And if it's solely for money or fame, you're going to give up. There's going to be bumps in the road and you're going to go, forget it. It's not worth it. I'll go do something else and I'll take the money, compared to being able to live the lives that we've been able to live. I think one of the biggest things that I've ever discovered is when I was a kid and I couldn't read and write, and I come from this family of both educated parents, and I realized that moment, there's something different. And I just accepted it and said, this might be the greatest gift in my life. And I didn't realize until later that it was, where most people would go, well, reading and writing is a fault. It's something that's going to hold you back. It just made me focus more. And I think I see that a lot with some of the most incredible people around me. I got a friend, Angela, who is paralyzed from the neck down. And she's more active than most people I know. And she's more productive than most people I know. And this is a woman that was paralyzed after being a runway model in New York, top of the line. And now she goes, okay, this is what's happened. I'm accepting this and I'm going to make even better. And it's those kind of people. It's like, was it Christopher Reeves that got paralyzed and did more after the fact than he did before? And I wish more people would see that on themselves. You got 2 arms and 2 legs that function. Make advantage of this. Don't just get up and go, nah, I'm good where I'm at. I have that fight in me that I just got to continue to be a gladiator and fight every day harder and harder.
Bam. I love that. It's interesting. I mean, you don't rationalize anything away. You select what you want to do, when you want to do it, where you want to go. And you mentioned this before. You mentioned, understanding your week, things like that. Do you plan your week ahead of time?
I do. I'm always on somewhat of an understanding and schedule. Because if you can put the little things aside, you get the schedule set up, you got your meals set up, you got your workout set up, you got your life and business set up. The schedule for me is key. When I'm just winging it's never good for me. And I just don't see that in people because, hey, I'm just going to wing it. And then you miss your meals. And again, when I speak about meals, it's a metaphor for everything. It's like, if the meals are there, your body's functioning well. If your body's functioning well, your mind's functioning well. If your mind's functioning well, life is functioning well. So there's that avalanche of things that could go bad or go good. And so that's why I talk about food and prep and schedule and being on point. And for me, I love that because I continuously try to figure out, again, you will say this more than anybody, I think. There's a difference between being busy and being productive.
Amen. Amen to that.
And I think today, mostly with social media, everybody's like, oh, I'm a beast. I'm so busy. No. Yeah, I mean, you are busy. I get that, but you're not productive.
Busy's an excuse.
It's harsh, but it's reality, right?
Totally, man.
I mean, it really is. It's the kids today are growing up with this mentality of, I'm busy 24/7. You haven't seen busy.
Right.
You and I are around these individuals that we go, wow. I mean, an acquaintance, and there's not many people busier than the Rocket up at 3 a.m. and continuing to forward. So I always compare myself to that and go, that's productive. That's busy and productive, but it's lose the excuses.
Amen.
I don't have time for
exactly.
You know?
Totally. Yeah.
I don't got time for the workout. I don't got time to eat the meals or prep the meals. I don't got time to get out there and hit the pavement to sell the homes. I don't got that time.
So here's the reality. I mean, it's Mike O'Hearn has the same number of hours in the day that you have, dear listener. That's it. You know, and you find a way to get to the gym to have the appropriate meals. And what do you eat, like 6 times a day?
Yeah, 6 times a day.
I mean, it takes a little bit of time to execute on that, but you do meal planning and prep. And, you know, I've been to the gym with you. It's not a 20-minute and done situation by any means. So, I mean, it's incredible that you say that. And it happens for everybody. I mean, you know, we're not just talking about building muscles here. We're talking about building a life and a business and success and a future and a legacy and a family and finances and faith and things of that nature. So ultimately it's about that being intentional, and it's so cool. Mike, I have one last question for you that I ask everybody on here. And this was a really deep conversation, and thank you for sharing your wisdom and insight in how the Titan accomplishes daily tasks, activities, and life success. But Mike, how do you start your day with a win? And I'm excited to hear this because I've seen you at like 4 a.m. So you're kicking ass by that time of day. How do you start your day with a win, my friend?
It's the most simple thing in the world. I make sure that I'm up every morning at 3 a.m. before the rest of the world. And that's it. It really is that simple for me, because that makes me in myself understand that I am up working, getting productive before the rest of the family is up and jumping ahead of everybody.
Awesome. Yeah. Head start on success. It's awesome. Mike O'Hearn, I mean, 4-time Mr. Universe. I mean, one of the most successful physical people on this planet in history. I mean, and you're changing lives, my friend. I mean, you're helping people find a great way forward. You've turned a lot of health issues around for so many people, and you teaching dedication to everybody that you can reach with the Titan Crew. So everybody, make sure you check out Mike on social media. Check out the Titan Crew. It's been a pleasure and an honor to have you on the show, my friend. It's great to see you.
I want to say thanks, brother. You're somebody I look up to, and this has been cool for me. And it's also outside of the fitness world. This is something that what I love is that the people around us are all walks of life and different jobs. And it's cool to be around the top echelons of society, of people that are really pushing it and making it to the next level. So, man, thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening to Start With a Win. If you're ready to grow as a leader and you want to know the 3 keys to success, just 3 out of a lot, but top 3, head over to adamcontos.com/leadership and download our free PDF that will give you all that insight. For more great content, you can head over to adamcontos.com. And until next time, remember, start with a win.
Damn, that was awesome. Now we're on YouTube.
Now we're on YouTube. The show after the show. Mike, I have a question. Battle Dome or Gladiator?
Battle Dome, 100%.
Okay.
Hands down. So we got to be, I guess I call it leash off.
Okay.
The producer said, go attack. On Gladiators, they were, hey, can you take it easy here? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Battle Dome, it was great too. We had Terry Crews on there.
Right.
And he and I were always battling. So it was just, a bonding.
Oh, that's awesome.
So vicious.
I'm sure you have just a lot of awesome, just things to add to your life bio. So hashtag winning.
That was just so cool to watch the man-on-man competition going on there. That was incredible.
This is so fun.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I have a question for you because you said that both your parents were educators and you still struggled with like reading and writing. What was that due to? I mean, it's encouraging to me because my daughter struggles with reading and writing, and I've always tried to tell her like, hey, you know what, like, just use this as a way for you to like grow in other areas and figure out ways that you can solve your problems outside of these things, and you'll have success and grow.
First off, great job on that as a parent and stuff. Because I was concerned that my son might have something like that. And then after continuously talking to Mona, we're both sitting there going, wait a minute, Mona, baby mama is Mona. She's came from a communist country, got through 7th grade, then got to America, not speaking the language, and became a multimillionaire by herself. And I'm sitting there, wait a minute. You did this. I went from a kid that couldn't read and write with dyslexia and still made a success. I'm like, we're not worried about the kid.
Yeah.
He'll figure this out. And I think as a parent, man, smart call and tell him there's going to be options and workarounds. And I think that's life. And I think that's what helped me when I couldn't read and write, is that I had to come up with those options.
Yeah.
Because there was 10 of us. So the parents didn't really have time, even though we're both educated, they didn't have time to go, hey, let's sit down and really work with you. Like, figure it out, kid. Right. And I'm so glad I had that kind of parent, because I think today parents, they would be like, oh, you weren't a hands-on parent. I'm glad they weren't. I'm glad at that young age, they said, you got to figure this stuff out yourself. And that's something I don't see. Yeah. Well, I don't want to say I don't see. I just don't see a lot of that communication in society today. I don't see them saying, hey, I get it, you're this age, but you have to start realizing life's not fair and life's not easy.
Yeah.
Start figuring out options to work around it.
Right.
So great job on understanding the workarounds.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. I just really appreciate you being on the show and hanging out with
Absolutely.
Adam and I. And
Hey, before we go, Mike.
Yep.
Give us one of these.
the guns.
Oh, wow. Hey.
They didn't know that was there. They didn't know.
That's right. They didn't know. He's going to pump you up.
I was just at Bonham's office yesterday.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
It was incredible time. Awesome. Man, thanks for doing this today, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend. It's good to
you.
see you on, and wish you all the best. And if there's anything I can do for you, just reach out and let me know.
I will. I'm going to bug you.
Deal.